This morning I'm at the Oxford Weir just south of Brisbane to capture video of the local bird life with my Nikon Z6II and my Nikon 200-500mm f5.6 lens. The Oxford Weir, just like many places, is a hit and miss. Although there weren't many birds here, they were quite close to me, so I was anticipating a very good morning. This morning I'm testing out my new carbon fibre tripod and a new tripod head to enable me to capture much smoother video with my Nikon Z6II and Nikon 200-500mm f5.6 lens. Capturing videos of the birds that I see when I'm out and about was the main reason for buying the Nikon Z6II, and here I'm just using center point locked onto the bird's body to capture this bird feeding on the small fish just in front of it. This peewee here was so close to me. I was at 200 mils and it was having a field day catching a few little fish just in the shallow water there. Capturing video requires you to have your eye on the viewfinder all the time, but every now and then I take my eye off and I noticed this dusty moorhen jumping around the rocks, so I quickly focused on it and again just used single point to track it as it was moving along. Now, it was just trying to get down to the bottom, but the pelican and the little egret was giving it a hard time, so it just stayed up on the rocks. But I decided to try wide area small just to lock onto the bird and see how good it was. But in this instance, because there was quite a bit of white water and splashing, I found that the wide area small every now and then would lose focus because water would just spray up in front of the bird and the camera would focus on the splashing water instead of the bird, and it would do this on and off. I decided to stop and go back to single point autofocus. There are a few white domestic ducks around, and this one, he came right up to the rocky ledge here in front of me and walked right up close to me. This point here, he's only about 2 meters away from me, just at the tip of my autofocus ability with the 200-500. This striate heron was right in front of me. You can see I've zoomed right in and there's so much detail here. This is why I love the Nikon Z6II, because it just pulls out so much detail in the video. All this was taken in 4K. At the start of the video I mentioned I had new gear and I was giving it a good workout that day. This is what I used to use. A Manfrotto 055 XP Pro with a Vanguard painted tilt head. This was 3.2 kilos. Now my health isn't that good, and when I walk for up to 2 hours when I do these wildlife photo walks, 3.2 kilos is a lot to carry around. I went ahead and bought this ARTCISE, ARTCISE carbon fiber tripod. This one is the AS80C, very light. Plus I bought a LEOFOTO tilt head. Now this weighs only 2.1 kilos compared to 3.2, so I'm saving 1.1 kilos. Now this tripod is great because it has a leveling base. A leveling base just means that we undo the bottom here and it just tilts around. So I don't have to worry about getting my tripod level. I just put my tripod down, I have a spirit level in the middle here to get it level, and I'm right to go. And this bald head here is great because if I bring it down, I'll put it sideways here, you can see. Sorry, it's not a bald head, it's just a tilt head. The LEOFOTO here has got just a very big knob and I just loosen up just enough to give me movement. And on top here, I did do a modification. It just comes with a straight Arca clamp, but I had a spare base for a panorama rig. So I just swapped them over, and now just by unscrewing this, I can move the camera around. And if I want to, I can just tilt it like this, and it is just fantastic. So this is how my rig looks. When I want to move it sideways, all I do is just finger tight on this little lever here, and I've just got smooth panning sideways. And if I want to tilt, I always have this just finger tight, this big knob here, and I've got very good motion. I don't use an ND filter. I'd like to, but the problem is I'm taking photos and video. If I had a 6-stop ND filter to give me perfect video recording, then taking the photos, my ISO would be extreme. ISO 15,000, ISO 20,000. So I don't have an ND filter, which means that instead of shooting at 1/50th of a second, which is the ideal shutter speed, my shutter speed on this day ranged from 1/250th of a second to 1/400th of a second. And my aperture between f10 and f14. It's not the best, but if you've seen already in the video, I have very good video quality. There's not much jerking. This is my rig. Let's get back to the videos. The pelican was trying to catch some fish now, and this time he just failed. He dived down, missed the fish. He wasn't giving up, swam back closer to me in front of the weir, and here he dived down and caught himself a nice fish and just swallowed it whole. The little egret, who had been sunbaking, saw the excitement and decided to come down for another go of catching a few small fish. And with all these rocks around, I found that the single point autofocus was quite good. I did try auto tracking, but I found that sometimes it just let me down, especially when the birds were in the water. I found the reflections were just affecting the auto tracking. So I just stayed on single point, and I didn't find any trouble at all keeping the birds in focus. This was quite funny to watch. I'll just let you watch it, and you'll see what happens here. This little egret walks behind Mr. Pelican. Mr. Pelican finally says, "Yep, my belly's full, I better empty some stuff out." I'm back into wide area small because the pelican is so close to me, and you can see it has no problems at all, and my new setup was I was able to pan very easily without any jittering at all. As the pelican came right close to me and just moved about, found with my new setup, I'm very happy about this. And then he flew away. I was just about to put my gear away when I noticed this black cormorant had caught a very nice small fish, and it was just moving it about, getting at the right angle so it could just swallow it whole down its beak. It was a very worthwhile morning for me. As you can see, the Nikon Z6II with the 200 to 500mm makes a great pair for capturing video. Even if you're not using the Nikon 200 to 500, you're using another lens, you can be assured that you're going to get great video from this camera. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up. Got any questions or feedback, leave it in the comment box below. I'll see you next time.